I have a perfect plant-based recipe. Easy to make, full of vitamins and nutrients, very tasty, lowers blood sugar, lowers blood cholesterol, helps prevent certain forms of cancer, helps prevent heart disease, improves gut health. Just an all-around great recipe. Wait until you see what it is. EC in the kitchen. Today's recipe, Masoor dal. Welcome to EC in the kitchen. Today we're making a wonderful Mediterranean dish, or I should say an Indian dish, called dal. Now we're going to use red lentil Masoor, which is basically one of the most popular lentils that is used for dal. And we're going to go through a step-by-step process on how to prepare it. I have already prepared my cooked dal ahead of time just to speed up the recipe. But just to backstep, you take a package of Masoor, that's the red lentils, and you boil them. I use a whole pack, which is about 3.5 cups. My recipe actually will yield about a good 10 to 12 servings, and that's 3/4 cup is a serving. So there's 3.5 cups of dal. You boil it in 4 cups of water. You want to mix in about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon or a couple teaspoons of turmeric powder and a little bit of salt, and kind of stir it up, and then let it boil on low heat for about 30 to 35 minutes until it's tender. You don't want to overcook it. You don't want the dal mushy, because after it's done, you're going to have to go into another step and add more ingredients, which requires more cooking. So just make sure that your dal is tender, okay? So this is the dal right here, as you can see. I'll bring it to you. It's prepared, and there's a little bit of wetness there, so it's liquidy. You decide on what your consistency is. You can go liquidy, or you can go a little bit more firm. I think for this recipe, it's better for it to be a little bit more liquidy. So as you can see, basically, when I take the spoon to it, it's still porous. So, all right. So now we're going to move into the next step. With the dal, we're going to add ingredients to that to give it flavor. Okay. So you want about a handful of cumin seeds. So basically, just kind of give you an idea. This is how the cumin seeds look. Okay. You want about a handful of cumin seeds. You want about a cup of chopped tomatoes. I use the tomato on the vine. You want to make sure they're ripe. And then I'm going to add a secret ingredient, but I'm going to tell you the secret is red bell pepper. I like red bell pepper because it adds color to the recipe and flavor. You also need about 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic and 2 tablespoons of chopped ginger. So that's the garlic, and there's the ginger. Okay. You're also going to need some chili powder, which we have here, and a little bit of salt for flavor. So, and you're going to need also some olive oil. Okay. Olive oil is important because that's what creates the stir fry. So you're going to put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the skillet and let that warm up. And then we're going to take our first ingredient, which is the cumin seeds, and we're going to put that into the heat and brown the cumin seeds until they're light brown. So I'm going to open up this chili powder so it's ready. Okay, there we go. The chili powder is ready to go. Alright, so here's the recipe. We're going to go and we're going to add the cumin seeds to the oil. and brown it. You don't want it to heat too high because you don't want it to cook too fast. You just want to make sure that the heat is moderate and the flame is medium. Okay. Okay. Once it browns a little bit, you're gonna add the next ingredient, which is garlic. So we're gonna add our garlic, 2 tablespoons of garlic. Mix that together. It smells so good. The cumin seeds and the garlic together. Yummy. Okay. And let that just brown a little bit. And the next ingredient is the ginger. So I'm going to put the ginger in. Stir fry that and then the ginger is great because it really gives it a zesty flavor, and there's a lot of nutritive values in everything that we're cooking here. I'm going to add all that onto the video at the end. It's important to know that the foods that we eat have medicinal qualities and very healthy for you. This being a plant-based recipe makes it even more healthy to the body. So again, I'll call out all the benefits at the end of the video. Okay, next we're going to add in my special ingredient, which is the red bell peppers. Stir that in. Beautiful coloring, as you can see. Now it's got some color in there. Okay. Again, you want to make sure that heat is medium, not too high. And the dal is staying on warm. You don't want that to overcook, but it's staying on warm, so it is ready for the ingredients when the stir fry is ready. Okay. Put a cover on that to keep it warm. Okay, now let's do this. Let's add the chili powder, okay? And before we add the tomatoes. So we're going to add about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon or a tablespoon of chili powder. You decide on how pungent you want it. I just put about 2 tablespoons or 2 teaspoons of chili powder, just to give it a nice flavor. Stir that in, mix it all together. Oh, that smells great. Okay, got the garlic in there, got the ginger in there, got the red bell pepper and the chili powder. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt just for the flavor. I use sea salt. Okay, stir that in. And then we're going to add the tomatoes. So I use vine tomatoes. I use 2 medium vine tomatoes and chop them up into, dice them up rather. We'll take some of that juice out. You don't need a lot of the juice from the tomatoes because you still want it to be somewhat firm and dry. So we're going to add the tomatoes. Okay, until all those flavors combine, and we're going to just keep that on medium heat for let's say about 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Until it really comes together. So, once the ingredients are ready, we're going to add them to the dal and mix it all in, and then that will be basically your recipe. Again, you want to make sure the consistency is to your liking. You can prepare your dal somewhat liquidy, somewhat not too soupy, but a little bit more moist, or you can go a little bit more firm. And looks like our dal is bubbling a little bit, it's starting to boil a little bit, so it's ready to receive its guests. Oh, there's the phone. Okay, we mixed all of our sauteed ingredients into the red lentils. Now we're going to stir and we're going to bring all the flavors together. And then what we'll do is let it sit on low heat between 5 to 10 minutes. And then we'll come back and we'll have the finished product. We'll be back shortly. Okay, here's the finished product. Here's your dal. Oh, it smells lovely. Look at those beautiful rich colors, full of vitamins, antioxidants, zinc, calcium, potassium, magnesium, all the good things that we need for our body to keep it healthy. On top of that, it's tasty. Look how beautiful that is. Well, here's the moment of truth. Excellent. Tasty. This is absolutely a wonderful, wonderful recipe. Tasty, easy to make, healthy for your body, plant-based. You got to make this recipe. You're going to love it.